guys, another deck list. Of course, I got something a little bit different here. It's Conflict Vegito. Now, I know other people have been posting about this list. I haven't really, I'm not necessarily posting about this list, but other people have commented about, what the best mastery for Conflict, or sorry, rather for Vegito is. And I know a lot of people think Energetic is the best one. I won't argue for or against that. On paper, it seems like it's probably the best. It seems like it pushes the survival game the best. However, Conflict is another one of those masters I think that really lends itself well with Vegito. Black's card pool has a lot of two-anger cards, more than Orange does. However, Orange has like better drill support, has better like kind of chain bits of anger it can gain. So I think overall Orange is probably still the better pick. However, the black version kind of has its own gimmicks going for it. So I figured I'd bring those up and show you this list. I've played against Dana Behe's list. I know Mark Bolger and him both had similar, kind of had their own list. I think I played against Mark too, and or maybe not Mark. It might have been Kelly Dennis. There's a bunch of those guys were goofing around with Conflict Vegito, at least in the week after or actually before the set really even released. They're goofing around with that. And so I know by no means am I like the first guy to claim anything about this deck or something, but uh, this is my take on it. I think the best way to build it is just to run it like a Black Drawku pretty much anger. Um, I understand there are other cards you could be running to run a little more beats, but I wanted to just go 100% anger. Really, the only thing that's going to slow you down is like protective maybe, but even then you can sequence around them a bit. Uh, Again, energetic's probably still the better choice, but this one still kind of sorry guys. Still has a lot of like runaway potential. Um, I'll get through the combos here though, and we'll go through the numbering of everything. Now this is just a conceptual list. I haven't actually played this. I made this late at night, and I've sat on this list for a bit now, and I haven't played it yet. I just haven't really felt like playing Vegeta all that much. I've been mostly playing as energetic Vegito to help people test and kind of get a feel for the deck to see how it runs, see what its weaknesses are myself. So that's usually why I end up playing really powerful meta decks ever. If you see me do it, it's just to learn them, learn how they run. Especially if I'm not just doing a bunch of gameplay, I'll build the decks, see how they run. Um, because you can't get a better feel for a deck unless you play it. Anyway, long bit of divergent conversation later. We'll get into the list. So we're gonna start off with the guts. Well, we'll start off with the dead cards this time. So Black Grudge Drill at 2. This card, when it's discarded from your hand in combat, you place to play. So immediately, Conflict Mastery kicks it right back in. Plus with Vegito, you're going to immediately replace it. So you're kind of like gaining 2 cards essentially. But what's really great about this is the moment you discard it, you get to draw another card. So what's really cool with Vegito is you just drop this on level 1, and you instantly get to draw 2 cards and gain an anger and have this drill out. So it's pretty cool. Gives you a little bit of pile control, but really you're just doing it for the free draw is really what it's there for. So, but it's really cool. You can tutor this drill because it is a drill. You can tutor with the level 2 through 4. So you always have this card like kind of live. You're gonna want to be getting this card back in your deck if you can. Which you can rejuvenate it with like level 3's power, and like level 2 can rejuvenate it when it's discarded if you didn't get to save it from level 1. So things to consider, but really it's just kind of another card that adds on to your discard outlet. So really good. I wouldn't mind running it at 3, but I think 2 is plenty, especially because you get to keep it. So, and if you're really running it for the discard proc, there's other stuff you can run. So, but we'll go on to the next drill. Spin this drill at 1. This is mostly here because it's spin this drill. If you can get this card out early, or even if you get it out on level 2 and 3, this card will help you build up against those other board decks really well. It just it just does a lot for you. So of course we're gonna run it at 1, and you can always tutor for the advantage zone at 4. So if you get up to 4 and you have this, oh my god, gross. Learning drill at 1. This is mostly. It would be cool to have this at 2. I know Daniel's running this at 2. Daniel and Kelly running it at 2. I'm just doing it for 1. It's not giving me anger gain. It's really only good if I can tutor it, so I have to grab it on 2 or 3, and depending on what cards, depending on my game plan, I'm not always gonna gravitate towards it. So it's good. I mean, it kills a board card in play essentially by blanking it out, which is really nice. So, or you could be even preemptive with it. Well, actually, no, it's gotta be in play when you name it. Never mind. But this could go to 2, I suppose. But it's mostly spacing right now, and I don't plan on prioritizing it in my deck, so at a 1 for now. Racing Drill is my other limit one. Like spin this, but again, this card is so good. You have energy attacks on every one of your levels, so again, super easy to pop this to get some board kill. So between this and Learning Drill, another reason why I don't think you necessarily need Learning Drill is because of this card existing. So, but oh well. So we go to the final drill here, Singing Drill. This card is mostly to give you a discard outlet without having to do the mastery if you want to wait on the mastery. So that's pretty cool. Just another way if you end up drawing like multiple cards you might want to discard, or you want a hand filter, it's there. And it does give a damage pop, which is kind of cool. So cool. But yeah, those are the numbers. I've got Grudge and Singing at 2 because they're the procs. Singing just might even go to a 1. But I just wanted to give myself a couple different options to grab. All the other black drills don't really synergize and mesh well with anger or card drawing, so but Singing could always go up to 1, maybe 2 learning, but if that's only if I start to see more board meta, then I would consider 2 learning. But my final 2 planning cards, final 3 really, but final 2, power up at 2, chaos at 2. We'll count power up mostly, combat control is good. You're not always, if you can enter combat, attack, block, and you came out ahead, considering a lot of your actions are going to be 2 anger. So, and then on top of it, Black Chaos. This card's really cool. If you pop it with your mastery, you instantly, or with your Singing Drill or Grudge Drill, well, not Grudge Drill, but you master your Singing Drill, you instantly get to put it in play, and then what happens is its power is you name a card, your opponent reveals their hand. If they have the revealed card, they skip the next 2 actions, and you get to give top deck a card on their life deck. So what's really cool about this is mostly the fact that like you think about all the cool anger gain that like Ascension has. This is one of your ways that like you're going to be able to beat Protective Mastery and other anger lowering heavy decks. Is you're going to be able to chain up 2 actions together on your opponent. It's another reason that you want to run maybe Combat Enders. Blinding Energy move's not in this, I don't think. Oh no, I do. Okay, never mind. Okay, well anyway, you combo this with Combat Enders, and you get like a pseudo. You pretty much get like Red Ascension Master kind of effect going on, and with all the tuner cards you have in this deck, you could generate like 3-4 anger pretty easily, and your opponent skips all of it, and they don't get to interact with it unless they have a block. So it's just another way to help you jump levels. This is going to be really powerful. When you have the combat enders, like I said, though. I had it at 3 and I cut it down to 2 purely for spacing, but I could even see dropping a Singing Drill for a third one of this. Like, this card just seems, in theory, so good. The only issue is you've got to know what's in your opponent's hand, so I thought about running Black Stop and like Confrontation for those reasons, but with how many decks tutor cards to their hand, and kind of like, at worst, you get to see your opponent's hand. It's a free card that goes into play for your mastery. I figured I'd run it and just try it out, but I think I'm going to really like this. So we'll see. And Earthball 7 again, combat editing. Having combat control is super strong. So if you get, a bunk hand where you get like a chaos, an erasing drill, a block, and 1 attack, like your hand's shit. So ideally, you load enough combat enders up in your deck, you might get one of those when you get crap. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 dead cards, and by 12 deads, I mean all these are pitchable to mastery. This one's not really dead, so like 11. And then, again, Chaos and Grudge Drill go into place. So 5 of your deads can just jump right into play if you discard them or if you play them. The rest, oh well, 1 card, so not the end of the world. Again, this number might bump down of everything and change a little bit, but I just wanted to guarantee that I could get Grudge Drill, because Grudge Drill is a draw too with Vegito's powers on level, 1 and 3 with the mastery. So, but we'll get into the attack line. Uh, well, I should go to the events first. So again, we round out the events are all these events other than one are 2 anger apiece. Command, you discard it for 2 anger. Awesome. 3 anger combo with mastery. Mischievous, or sorry, Black Mischief is a 2 anger card that lets you goof around with your opponent's deck. You can set their draws with how many people are drawing these days. Really good. You get a free banish out of the deck. Pretty cool. That's really what it's there for. 2 anger. Cool, cool. Because of this card and then Black Schematics here, which lets me cherry pick for a drill in my opponent's deck. I thought about running Black Mist. I know some people really like Black Mist with Vegito because you instantly get to draw a card and then it gives you discard proc outlet and then you can loop Mischief and Schematics. But mostly I didn't. I opted to run Chaos over over it pretty much. That's really why I did it. So uh, you never know. I mean, plus for me, it's like if these are really hitting the pile, like from damage, they're going to be banished instead for me. So I'd have to be already using them, and with people, I feel like are going to be. I don't know. I can see the reason for running it, but I think Chaos is better, for me at least right now until I test it. So all these cards 2 anger piece for different reasons, but then reality check. I just wanted some board hate really, and I was like, I don't really have any board hate. Yeah, racing drill's cool and all and remember learning drills kind of neat. Schematic stealing drills is cool, but I just wanted to make sure I could kill Wallbreaker, especially, and just make sure I clear any opponent's board. So why not? Yeah, it's a destroy, but like a lot of times that's at least enough. If you especially if you like sequence it right, it's enough to get you through a combat a lot of times. So, um, and then we go into the attack line again. This is where the majority of the anger is, other than sorry the 3 events here. But we get into the attack line here. Black Overhead Burst, um, pretty much bread and butter. It gives me a crit effect if it hits, which is kind of neat. If I discard a card from my hand, which is another way to proc Vegito 1 and 3. So, but again, it's 2 anger. So, cool. It's a pretty easily critable attack, which is nice. Black Swirl, again, this card is really cool. You enter combat with this, say like blue head knocker, blue takedown, or black trick shot, orange fierce attack, whatever, anti-anger card, or combat ending, red retreat or something. Um, so good, so good. Knocks your opponent out of playing a card. And what's the best part is you could just name like an ally, and if it's like Supreme Kai level 1 now, he can't go play that ally because it says cannot play. So great card. Blinding at 2, again, dip it out of combat. Combat control is gonna be good. With Black Chaos, ideally we're gonna go skip end. So, and then Point Blank Volley, another card to go to your hand. Only at 2 because I don't think 3 is good. I think you draw it too much at 3, and you really just want it to flop into your hand for damage. So, and then sometimes if your opponent's not 0 anger, it just does nothing. So, you know. Black Pressure Point, this card is amazing. What's really cool about this card is the timing of everything. So you raise your anger 1 as an attack. You may discard a card from your hand to lower your opponent's anger 1 and place a styled card from discard pile on top of your life deck. So what's really cool, you draw any of these dead cards here, you drop it out of your hands, and then top deck, and then you would draw with Vegito 1 or 3 or 4. And so that means you get to set up the draw. It's super awesome. So it's like pretty much guaranteeing that you're going to be able to, this card is a 2 anger card with Vegito 1 and 3, but also it sets you up for whatever draw you want. So another 2 anger card in your hand all of a sudden, really, really good. Black Combo, really good. I mean, it's just anti-wall breaker / attached card, but it's just another 2 anger physical. Black Dash, yeah, it's anti-ally if it hits. It's pretty much like schematics in this. And combo all have to hit or like go off, or whatever. So they're not really reliable to me as like hate for those types. And I also don't have any setup hate. And crits are going to be not super reliable in my opinion. So again, like another reason reality check exists. Like I can pick them out of my opponent's deck or flop them or steal them pretty much. And if I don't want to do that or I don't land those, I got reality check. So that kind of gives me like some pretty good tech between those attacks. And then we get into Devastating Blow and Dashing Punch for anger control, and Devastating Blow, again, pile control, huge. So the attack line's pretty solid. Not a lot of damage. Everything's pretty weak. It's mostly pushing anger. A lot of physicals. We're not overly stage reliant, which is really good. Um, None of the attacks like have any endurance on them. Like two of them have endurance one, or three of them rather, if you include point blank volley. But like all of them have the potential to be either two anger or they are two anger outright. So that's pretty good, other with the exception of blinding. But dash punch and devastating blow. Dash punch can turn into like three anger because you're skipping. Whereas devastating blow is just good tech. So again, not a lot of anger hate. It's okay board control, mostly stealing, which is okay with me. Um, some combat control, 5 combat enders. Um, yeah, so kind of covered at least decently well on everything. Like anger hate's still shit, but you're gonna try to race with this deck. That's the main idea. Like you're gonna just try to outrace your opponent. And if your hand sucks, then you just try to filter it out the best you can. Black Corruption is in here over Resistance because I just kind of sold my soul to the anger, but I wanted a little anger control, so whatever, I either have endurance or I don't. Black Check, Knee Catch, just anger cards. At least there's some more anti-anger on the defense with Check. This does have a good parenthetical if I discard it, so again, some more pile control, you might as well run it. Effortless Defense at 3, so I only run like 7 dedicated energy blocks between, this, Corruption, and Time. But this is multi-use, so that's mainly why, because this card being multi-use, that's really what it's in here for, is just to try to get me through, so that way I don't have to hold a bunch of blocks in my hand, and I just try to stop the stuff I really need to. So that's really all I got for you. Blocks are pretty simple, they'll try to give me anger. And I'm trying to maximize their efficiency. Again, more physical blocks than energy, because physical attacks seem to be the most detrimental against Vegito. I mean, yeah, energy attacks really suck because I don't have a ton of endurance, but I do have a decent amount of stage beats, and I'm in F quite often. So as long as they're not crazy leveling, I should be able to keep their stages down a little bit at that time. So again, initial list. Maybe reality check won't won't make everyone's build, but I figured having board hate's always good. Chaos again is another card that I could see people not running. Hit and miss. Sometimes you just got to get lucky with it. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes it'll just be pretty much do nothing. So Singing Drill, just wanted it to for more discard outlets. In case sometimes I might get a hand where I want to discard 2 cards out of my hand instead of 1. Searchable discard outlet's good. So maybe 1, but again, I just wanted to guarantee that I had these. These are going to be the main 2 I'm searching, is Grudge and Singing. The rest of them are kind of hit and miss when I want to grab them, or situational. So kind of a neat deck. Again, slots might change. Maybe I will run like Assisted Kamehameha in here, or like Controlled Anger Blast, or I don't know, something else. Legendary Blast, maybe. I wouldn't run that probably, but maybe more anti-anger. But again, I'm trying to race with this deck, so I could see some more active cards being added to it. But again, most of the dead cards are really, really powerful, and like a few of them can just pop right into play on their own. So yeah, I think this is going to be pretty neat. I'd like to try it out. As far as again, Chaos is meant to help you with the protective matchup mostly. Um, you're not going to be able to win by survival with this deck very easily. That's not what it's meant to be. So again, I know some people run a little bit more survival heavy. I just wanted to go all in on the anger. You might as well just have that just cheese bum rush factor where you're playing like every card's 2 anger. I might as well do it. So, but I think this deck takes good advantage of Vegito. Maybe you want to run it differently. Again, maybe this gives you some ideas and remind you about some cards that you hadn't seen for a while. So, but anyway, guys, I'll get some gifts on this one. Try to get some gameplay up with most of the decks that I'm making in this set. I'll try to get gameplay up with them to give you an idea of how they run. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Peace.